This is News 4 In Depth.
Job growth and creating good career paths for people here in San Antonio is a big reason why I believe people are moving here.
San Antonio, one of the fastest growing cities in the country.
Over the past year, we've seen development come back.
But are the highways and streets in your neighborhood and on your commute keeping up with the demand?
Over 2 years, they're still working on it. We've got lanes blocked.
If there is a small fender bender, then it causes, of course, the backup are really, really bad, but there's nowhere to pull over.
News 4 San Antonio goes in depth, digging deeper into the challenges and solutions with the transportation, construction, and development, building San Antonio's future.
Good evening and welcome to News 4 San Antonio In Depth. I'm Jonathan Martinez.
And I'm Simone D'Alba. Tonight, we're taking a deep dive into San Antonio's growth projects and how the city is planning for the infrastructure required for our population boom.
In the next half hour, we will focus on several topics that matter to you. That includes construction projects in the works and an update on road and highway projects happening on every side of the city that impact your daily drive. We'll also address your concerns with city leaders and show you the solutions being implemented to keep you and your family safe.
We begin with the next big projects coming to our city, and they involve enhancements to a couple of historic locations. Inside Hemisphere Park, crews are busy wrapping up work on Civic Park. The 5-acre event space will feature a promenade along with shallow and water features. In fact, the city just updated us this week and said new trees, limestone, irrigation pumps, soil, and pavers are all going in. We're told construction is about 3/4 complete. Civic Park is slated to be complete this September. And not too far away, La Villita is getting some upgrades. A new main entrance is complete and decorative panels have been installed. Crews are working on the King Philip entrance, Faville house repairs, fixtures on the kitchen and kiosk, and wrapping up some masonry work on the plaza. The new and improved historic plaza is estimated to be complete in July. A new high-rise will soon give more people opportunities to live downtown. Located at 300 Main, the 32-story structure will be the tallest residential building downtown. In fact, crews will now focus on finishing the inside before it opens in 2024. The building will include 345 multifamily residential units and ground floor retail spaces.
All right, moving along, commercial developments are also booming across San Antonio, and that's despite the volatile economy. Several historic San Antonio buildings are getting major makeovers. The ESPY, formerly Sunset Station, has been transformed into a go-to for live entertainment. The Creamery project that will restore the original Borden Dairy building off of 281 in Ashby will also come to life a bit later this summer. Meantime, an elevated Irish pub called Francis Bogside just opened at St. Paul Square. That's just north of the ESPY. The sights and sounds of construction are familiar for many parts of downtown. Leaders with Centro San Antonio tell us the growing pains will be well worth it in the long run.
We want to have a strong downtown to be competitive. It's a retention play for talent, but it's also a recruitment play. People want that kind of quality of life in that urban environment.
The 5-year forecast for the downtown area includes nearly 60 projects worth over $3 billion in construction. That includes hundreds of millions for street and capital improvements, along with cultural amenities, close to half a dozen hotel projects, and nearly 24 housing developments. Also a priority for our city, making sure there's plenty of affordable housing so people do not get priced out.
As you can imagine, we're going to need it. New numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau list San Antonio as the 3rd fastest growing city in the United States. Nearly 18,000 people moved to the Alamo City from July 2021 to July of 2022. Mayor Ron Nirenberg tells us how the city is helping. It reserved $150 million to create and preserve more than 2,000 affordable homes. And just today, City Council signed off on 14 new affordable housing projects that could receive over $30 million from the local housing bond and some federal grants.
It's critically important that we maintain a healthy housing ecosystem in San Antonio for reasons of affordability, but also ensuring that people will be able to live where they work and where they learn and where they play.
The city's goal is to build or preserve nearly 30,000 homes to help keep up with growth.
More people means more cars and the need for wider roads and highways. And anyone who drives along 1604 knows navigating the barriers and changing traffic patterns can be tricky and even dangerous at times.
There's not enough signs. People could get confused. There's lanes that don't really look like lanes, people merging where they shouldn't be merging. Then there's not really any place for people to stop if they need to slow down.
Now, police emphasize take it slow, and if perhaps you do get into a wreck, find a safe place to pull over until help can arrive. We're told work on the 23-mile 1604 widening project is happening in phases, with completion dates ranging from 2024 to 2027. On the northeast side, major construction along I-35 just outside of Loop 410 also causing concern for drivers there. TxDOT started the Northeast Expansion Central project last year to elevate 9 miles of lanes of I-35 from Loop 410 north to FM 3009 in Cibolo. The project is intended to improve safety and mobility, but until it's complete in 2027, construction crews, heavy equipment, and confusing lanes are making it challenging there for motorists. According to the Texas Department of Transportation, in 2023, there's been an average of 121 accidents a month on that stretch of I-35. That's 17 more accidents per month on average in the same time period last year.
One of the fastest growing areas of the city is Alamo Ranch off 1604 and Culebra Road on the far west side. Culebra Road is also one of the streets with the most crashes every year in San Antonio, averaging more than one per day. In a survey conducted by the city last year, more than half of respondents said Culebra Road is unsafe. So we took your concerns to the city. They tell us that they're working on making $18 million in improvements, including roadway reconstruction with sidewalks, curbs, driveway approaches, lighting, traffic signals, and spaces specifically for bicyclists. Driving on the north side has been smoother these days. TxDOT recently completed widening of 281. This was between Stone Oak Parkway and the Comal County line. Phase 1 from 1604 to Stone Oak Parkway was finished in 2021. And from South Texas Ford dealer Sky 4, you can see the overpass ramps that take you from 281 to Stone Oak. Those are still being worked on, but crews have not completed the turnarounds at Overlook Parkway and Bulverde Road. No word yet on when those will be open. TxDOT eventually hopes to expand 281 all the way north to the town of Blanco.
With the growing city just outside San Antonio taking a financial hit, businesses in Helotes continue waiting for TxDOT to finish a major construction project. Here's the area that we're talking about specifically. The project is along Bandera Road outside of 1604 in far northwest Bexar County. The goal is to reduce the number of traffic lights and improve traffic flow, but it's also causing major backup and hurting businesses along the construction route. The mayor of Helotes says the city's sales tax revenues also down nearly 30%.
Right when construction started at the end of last year, we saw our tax revenues start to take a hit. We've seen sales decrease 20 to 30%, which for a lot of businesses, that's 100% of their profit.
The Helotes mayor has asked TxDOT to expedite that construction project. He says the tentative completion date is now this December. That's actually 6 months ahead of schedule. Now, another project we've been following for years is the Bandera Road Corridor Plan. TxDOT's goal for the 6-mile stretch of Bandera from 1604 to 410 includes improving safety, reducing congestion, that is, and accommodating economic development in that area. Back in December, the city of San Antonio actually submitted plans to TxDOT to add sidewalks, bike lanes, access to public transit, and to address traffic concerns. But as of right now, city officials say the project is in the assessment phase and no construction date has been set.
But there's light at the end of the tunnel for business owners, residents, and patrons dodging construction on the St. Mary's Strip.
Over 2 years, they're still working on it. We got lanes blocked.
Orange barrels and road closures have been a fixture along the St. Mary's Strip for more than 2 years. But new tonight, city leaders told us that they are making significant progress and expect the project to be complete this summer. Patrons will enjoy wider sidewalks, more lighting, new landscaping, and some updated utilities. To the east side now, where businesses have gotten used to the sound of construction along North New Braunfels. City officials tell us this bond project has been delayed several times, cutting into profits for businesses in the area. They say the road improvements are expected to be complete in July, but in the meantime, the city is fining the contractor until it is complete.
With area growth on the rise, many are asking about safety in these newly developed areas within the county and if emergency services will be able to keep up. Residents in new communities along Highway 90 West were experiencing longer response times from fire and rescue crews there. 3 new emergency service departments, or ESDs, recently popping up in the area, with another on the way. ESDs were created to provide fire and EMS services in unincorporated areas of the county.
They could save your property, or even more important, save your life. Think about cardiac arrest. After 6 minutes, 8 minutes, you start the irreversible brain damage.
Right now, ESDs have to get permission from the city of San Antonio to spend more than $20,000, but under a new bill starting next March, they will no longer have to get that approval.
Well, some San Antonians say they're tired of the big city and they're moving west to Castroville. Right now, it has a population of about 3,300. That is expected to double in 5 to 7 years. In fact, 2 subdivisions are already planned and more developments are in the works. Castroville's mayor welcomes the growth, but he says he wants to make sure to keep that small town charm.
We're trying to manage that and really make sure that they are thinking in terms of decades and generations.
Castroville officials passed a city charter and design guide that will encourage better planning and prevent urban sprawl. In depth, we're examining the changing face of San Antonio through development, construction, and transportation.
As our city does continue to grow, so do the challenges and potential risks out on the roads, but city leaders are hoping that a new interchange will help reduce the number of crashes along a busy northeast side intersection. We're talking about the intersection at Wurzbach and Austin Highway. A new first-of-its-kind design in South Texas is looking to alleviate congestion there. The design is called a single-point urban interchange. For the city of San Antonio's animation there you can see it features 4 connecting ramps and 1 set of traffic signals, which aims to create more green time and fewer wrecks.
A lot of folks may have been avoiding this area either because of construction or because it was just difficult to navigate, but know that that headache is gone. Now you have a new and improved intersection that's safer for not only drivers, but for cyclists and pedestrians as well.
Officials believe it will also help to reduce wait times by at least 25%.
We have the funding, we have a plan, and it's pending approval. And I'm hopeful that it will be approved and we can move forward with construction.
Meanwhile, city leaders say they are in a holding pattern for proposed safety upgrades at a tricky Southtown intersection. It's near Alamo Street and Probant Street. The proposal calls for more stoplights, wider sidewalks, and bike lanes. But because of the intersection's location, TxDOT and Union Pacific Railways all have to sign off on those plans.